Okay. So welcome. This is the October 2025 Branch Development Committee Peer Group Meeting, and we're excited to see you all here. Peer group meetings are a program for branch leaders, including presidents, president-elect, program chairs, membership chairs, nominating committee members, and anyone else who's interested in what's going on with branches. I'm Sigrid Morans, AUW California Co-Director for Leadership Development, along with Becky Gomez, AUW California Co-Director for Membership. And we'd like to welcome a special guest tonight, Amy Hom, will be part of our 5-star award discussion. But first, we have a couple of announcements. Our November branch development peer group meeting will be on Tuesday, November 11th at 7 p.m. And our speakers will be Patricia Souza, who will be announcing the 2026 Branch Activity of the Year or BAY Award process and how to nominate your branch. And then we'll have Peggy Shippen, who will talk about implementing Volunteers First in your branch. And Peggy, can you tell us a little bit about what to expect at the November meeting? And I've allowed you to share.
Yes. Oh, you're gonna put me on. Okay, great. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really great. Last year we listened to a couple of sessions, especially if you went to the conference on Volunteers First, and so you've got some background on it. If you did not go to those sessions, I'd like to have you look at those videos. They're all about 30 minutes, but they're really worth looking at, and you'll need to have those for us to have a good discussion. So we're just going to talk, we're all going to get together. It's going to be interactive. We're going to have discussion. The sessions, the learning is over. Now we're going to put the pedal to the metal. And so I hope you all attend and bring your other members, your branch president friends to join us and take a look at those videos before we do this.
You can find these at the auwcalifornia.org and under branch tools, scroll down to Volunteers First. And then here's part 1 that Peggy was talking about, and then part 2. So you can read all about what's there, what kind of materials, and you can watch the videos.
Basically, if you're not familiar with Volunteers First, we're all facing this dilemma of understanding why some members become engaged and others do not, even when we have programs that are tried and true, even when sometimes these programs work and sometimes they don't. This is what Volunteers First is all about, is how to address those. And like I said, we're going to have lots of good interaction, so be there.
Thanks, Peggy.
Mhm.
Okay. Amy is going to talk with us now. Amy is the Director for Public Policy on the AUW California Board, and she's going to talk about how public policy activities in your branch can help you achieve 5-star status. And then following Amy, we'll hear from Donna Holmes, our Director for Strategic Plan and the 5-star program. And Donna will take you through the components of the 5-star program and ideas on how to achieve those stars. So thank you everyone for participating this evening. When you sign off tonight, you'll be directed to a quick survey, which I hope you'll complete. This helps us understand your needs and evaluate our presentations. We're going to ask you to mute yourselves during the presentation, and you can put any questions you have in the chat box, and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's go to Amy, and we're going to spotlight you. There you go.
Thank you, Sigrid. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Absolutely, you have power to do that.
Okay, hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes.
And I have also put a copy, the link to this presentation in the chat so that you all have access to that and can see the links and all the good information that's in there. So thank you so much for inviting me tonight to join you. I'm Amy Hom. I'm one of the co-chairs of AAUW California Public Policy, together with the wonderful Missy Maseko, whom I think many of you know. And Sigrid asked me to speak with you tonight about two things, the 2-Minute Activist program and the 5-Star program. So starting with 2-Minute Activist, oh, looks like I have a typo in here. I'm sorry, I will have to fix that. The 2-Minute Activist program is an alert system from AAUW National that you can sign up for. It's linked here. And once you sign up, you'll be able to get regular alerts to engage at the federal level, including sending letters to your senators and your congressmen and participating in other calls to action. By setting up your home address in the 2-Minute Activist system, it automatically connects you with your representative as well as the California senators. So it's a really great system, very easy to use. So really encourage everybody to sign up for the 2-Minute Activist if you haven't yet. And then in addition to that, here in California, we have our state-focused action alerts. You can sign up for that to receive email alerts, to reach out to your assembly members, state senators, and the governor at key points during the legislative cycle. You can also follow us on Blue Sky and ResistBot. ResistBot is a text-based tool that allows you to set up your home address and automatically connect with your assembly member and state senators, very similar to National's 2-Minute Activist program. But instead of being web-based, it's a text and mobile device-based system. But again, it's very easy to use. So hope that you will sign up for that and follow us on Blue Sky and on ResistBot. Does anybody have any questions for me at this point about the 2-Minute Activist program or the California Action Alerts?
Government censorship, right, I suppose, is back. Trump was very clearly not consistent about that, because he doesn't want censorship of his views, but he's willing to censor other views. But I was
There is somebody behind the scenes that needs to mute their microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
All right, let me then move on to the AAUW 5-Star program. This program is designed to help branches align with AAUW's strategic priorities and advance their mission. The FY26 5-Star criteria has 5 areas: advancement, public policy and advocacy, governance and sustainability, programming, and communications and external relations. And for more information on the 5-Star program, you can visit this page linked here on National's website. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the public policy and advocacy criteria of the 5-Star program. In FY26, there are 6 different things a branch can do to earn a star in public policy. And I'll be going through each of these things. Note that only 3 of the 6 items are required in order to earn a star in public policy. The first thing a branch can do is appoint a branch public policy chair. The branch public policy chair is responsible for sharing public policy updates from state, which we try to make as easy to do as possible with our monthly newsletter, linked here. The public policy chair helps members to take action through various public policy projects that we provide from state, such as the school board project and Get Out the Vote, which many of you probably know is focused this year on the special election and Proposition 50. The public policy chair responsibilities include organizing public policy events, both community events and branch program meetings, and encouraging branch members to sign up for 2-Minute Activist, ResistBot, and Blue Sky. So those are some of the responsibilities of the branch public policy chair. Are there any questions about this role? Okay, let's move to the second thing a branch can do to earn a public policy star, which is meeting with an elected official about an AAUW public policy position. This can be an official at the local, state, or federal level. For example, a branch can invite an official to their branch meeting and discuss a public policy issue. A branch can visit an official and request support for key legislation, or attend a school board meeting or a city council meeting and speak about an AAUW public policy position. To support these activities, at state, we've got the School Board Project, as well as a new initiative called the City Council Action and Monitoring Project, or CCAMP, which it is modeled after the School Board Project, and we're going to be rolling out late 2025 to early 2026. So these are some of the ways that a branch can meet with a public official in order to work towards that public policy star. Does anybody have any questions about this?
Amy, this is Becky. Could I just make a comment about this real
Yeah.
quick?
Yes, Becky, go ahead.
I think at times we feel like we go to a city council or school board meeting to oppose a policy. I think it's also important to go to these meetings and support something that the school board or the city council is doing, because it's just as important to know that there is support in the community for a certain policy or project. Don't feel that you have to always oppose everything. Encourage them to continue on the path they're going if they're doing a good thing.
That's great. Thank you, Becky. That is super important what you've said. We have had branches that have gone into school board meetings and spoken out on behalf of public education. And after the meeting, they've had the school board members and teachers come up to them and just thank them profusely for standing up for public education and thanking them for their support. So absolutely. Hey, the third thing a branch can do is participate in Lobby Day. Every year, AAUW California holds a Lobby Day event in April. And this is a wonderful opportunity for members to meet with their legislators, either over Zoom or in person, to tell them about what AAUW is doing in their community and to ask for support on our priority legislation. Does anybody have any questions about Lobby Day?
Amy, you might want to point out the dates that are coming up for Lobby Day, so people can be planning.
Yes, and I don't have them right off
Let me see if
right
I
now.
can find it.
Okay. If not, when I stop sharing, I'll be able to find it and put it in the chat.
Mhm.
Thank you. Oh,
Hi,
Stephanie,
Stephanie.
Okay, so last year, 2 years ago, we did lobby days for sure, virtually. And then last year we tried to do the same thing. And it was not till the very last minute, like that morning, that we found out that they were not able to schedule anything for us. So in that situation, we tried to participate, but weren't able to. So I don't know how that plays into this 5-star thing, whether we get credit for signing up and being available and whatever or not. So that's something to think about, how you would respond to that.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie, for that. And I am sorry that your branch didn't get to participate. It's like a mad scramble to try to get these meetings scheduled, and these legislators, they tend to wait until the last possible minute to commit to a meeting because they think that they may need to be in a committee hearing or whatnot. So it's really difficult. And one thing that I will tell you that I think we're going to be doing differently this year. In the past, we've always tried to schedule these meetings Monday through Thursday with the staff or the legislator in Sacramento, because our thought process was that the people in Sacramento are the legislative staff that are most able to speak with us about our priority legislation. And
Mhm.
as the years have gone by, we have found that it's been more and more difficult to get these meetings secured with the people in Sacramento, because I think that there are just so many organizations that are vying for their time, asking for these meetings. If they do give us a meeting, it's only for a 15-minute time slot. Most of the time it's with staff, and it's gotten just more difficult each year. So what we're going to try differently this coming year is we're going to encourage branches to schedule meetings on their own with the local district office on Friday of the week. And we actually had one branch that asked to do this last year, and they had a tremendous amount of success with it. They had about half of the meetings that they scheduled that were actually with the legislator, because the legislator comes home on Fridays. So they're in district on Fridays. And if there's this group of people from AAUW that want to come in for a meeting, often the legislator wanted to be part of that. And that turned out to be a lot more successful. They were able to meet with about, I think, maybe 9 or 10 different offices that branch was in all of those different districts. And they had a good amount of success with that. So I think that we're going to try that this next year and have more of the branches schedule their own meetings in district on the Friday of the week. And we're hoping that by doing that, more people get meetings and more people are able to meet directly with their representative.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
Amy, I just put in the chat that on the AAUW California calendar, it indicates that virtual lobby days will be determined, but probably sometime mid-March.
Okay. No, I think it's we do actually have dates set in April, so it sounds like the calendar needs to be updated, and I will find those dates after I'm done talking here, and I'll put that in the chat. But thanks, Sharon.
Amy, last year, people had to sign up for some training,
Mhm.
and will that continue this year?
Yes, absolutely. And that training is super important because, we're going to have 3 pieces of priority legislation that we're asking branches to speak with the representatives about. And we want to make sure that everybody is trained on how to talk about those bills. We want to make sure that everybody is speaking about our position in a consistent manner. So yeah, absolutely. We're going to be doing a training session the week before the lobby day. So, we're going to designate 1 week for lobby day, and we'll ask people to either do sign up for Zoom or sign up for in-district meetings. But other than the fact that we're going to be asking the branches to do more of the scheduling for the in-district meetings, it'll be conducted pretty much the same way that we have in the past. I hope that answers the question. Any other questions on lobby day? Okay, let's move on then to the 4th thing a branch can do towards the public policy STAR, which is to hold a program on a policy topic related to our public policy principles. And note that this particular category will count not only towards the public policy STAR, but will also count towards the program STAR. So you get double credit for this one. And on the public policy page on our AAUW California website, we've got a branch events page where we ask branches that have held events to tell us about them so that we can post the details of those branch events on this page. And everything that I've got listed on here, reproductive rights, AAUW priorities in light of the election, raising awareness about human trafficking, and let's talk about childcare. These were all events that were held by branches. So these are linked to each one of those articles that's posted on our branch events page. And this just gives you some ideas for some things that branches can do for programs. And for additional examples, you can go to that branch events page and you'll get additional ideas. Does anybody have any questions about holding a program?
Amy, this is Becky again. What you could do, like something about, let's talk about childcare, is invite a local elected official or one of your state representatives to talk about childcare, and then you can kill two birds with one stone by having that elected official talk about your program.
Yes, great idea, Becky. I love that. Okay. The fifth thing a branch can do is conduct voter registration or voter education event. So here, linked here are some examples of some things that different branches have done. Election information event, local candidate forum, and voter registration on a college campus. And then again, you can see additional examples on the branch events page. And just to put a plug about our Get Out the Vote campaign, this year you can hold a voter education event for the special election on November 4th. And you can see all the information that we have put together in this toolkit, which is linked here, to support conversations about Proposition 50. Does anybody have any questions about voter registration or voter education?
No, but this is another twofer, Amy.
Yes. Actually, there are lots of opportunities for twofers, which we'll get into in a couple more slides. But the sixth and final thing that a branch can do is organize a group action. A few examples are postcard writing, attending a school board meeting, hosting a town hall meeting. Any questions about group action? So this is my final slide. Just want to remind you that a branch only needs to do 3 of the things that were described above to earn a star for public policy and advocacy. And the best thing of all is that items can count in more than one category. So a few examples here. You can have a lobby day meeting that counts for lobby day and also counts for meeting with an elected official. You can hold a voter education event, and that counts for both voter education and group action. You can hold a watch party for one of our public policy webinars, and that counts for programs and it counts for group action. So as Donna Holmes told me, the 5-star program fully believes in double dipping, which is great. It makes it really very, very easy to be able to earn this star because there's so many different ways that you can get credit for something. So finally, at the bottom here, I linked something that came from National. So this is some additional inspirations from around the country on different ways that you can earn a star in public policy. So that brings me to the end of my slides. Are there any additional questions?
Thank you, Amy. That was very, very informative.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you joining us tonight. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you for having me.
And Sigrid, I think that it would be very helpful if we somehow put these slides with our recording, if we could ask the ComCom group to keep them because they're wonderful and
Yes.
informative.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Okay.
Actually,
Now we're going to hear from Donna Holmes. And Donna is a director on the state board. Last year she was with communications. And this year she is a new job and she's in charge of strategic plan and implementing the 5-star program across California. So Donna, it's all yours.
Yikes. So my second year on the California State Board, but my first opportunity to do a presentation. So please bear with me. Amy actually did a huge part of it. Thank you very much, Amy, for all the public policy information. And I can share, right?
Yes, you can.
Okie dokie. So I think that's where I want to be. Sure.
You go. Right.
Okay. So
You probably want to go to slideshow. That way you won't have to be up in the right top there where it says slideshow.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Then we won't see all the others. We'll just see one slide at a time.
Yay. Okay, so one of the things about this whole deal is it's a national program. So the most of the information is on the national website, not on the state website, which the state website is known for being absolutely fabulous and easy to navigate. National, not always as welcoming. However, Tremaine's done a tremendous amount of work on it. The annual survey, which you take, is what gives the information to National to measure our 5 stars, with the exception of the advancement goals. The advancement goals are measured by National only. To access the program and see, why did the slide change?
We can't see your slides.
Oh,
It just says loading.
weird. It should, okay. I'm not sure what's going on.
Go back to where it says presentation 5-star Google Slides, and we'll just watch it that way. Okay, let's try again.
Okie dokie. Okay.
Well, while Donna is working on that, Amy, I have a question. Tell us about the No Kings National Day of Action. So AEW actually endorse that organization and AEW encourage branch members to participate, or it's really up to the branch ourselves to decide how we want to contribute to that voice?
So AAUW is an official partner of the No Kings Day on Saturday.
Oh.
And that is AAUW National that has, officially partnered with that, with the event. And I don't know if you have seen the toolkit from National that was shared.
I have, and I have. And I just wonder sometimes because some of our members are seniors, and I just wonder, would that put them in a, dangerous position? I'm not sure because I know that the upcoming one here in Fremont is supposed to be the largest yet, and I don't know what that means. So I'm just curious how much should we promote it? Absolutely, we're going to send an email blast, and I think one has been sent already. But I just wonder how much should we just really, push our members to go out and protest. So I just want to know that, okay, so National is a partner with this organization, and National is encouraging all branches to support that movement, right?
Yes, yeah, and that toolkit is really very informative. It talks a lot about, all the reasons why National has decided to partner with the event, and the reasons why it's that National feels very strongly that it's a nonpartisan event because it's not. It doesn't matter, like, what party is in office currently. It's really more about standing up for AAUW's values and priorities in terms of education and, economic equality for women, gender equity, social justice. All those things that we stand for are really not a partisan issue. Those are nonpartisan values.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I think it's back, but not in slideshow format, but when you go to the national website, you click membership and then you click branch tools. And under branch tools, you'll see the places to click to get 5-star information. The direct link is at the bottom of the slide. So if these continue on, you should have access to it. The advancement star, which is done by National, is things like retaining 80% of membership. And that is literally, if you had 100 members in your branch and next year you have 80, you have retained 80%. It doesn't matter if you lose 50 of them and 30 of those are new people. I think most of us have been doing a heck of a lot better job than that, but just by the by. And the $30 per member to 9110, which is the Greatest Needs Fund, does not mean that each one of your members has to donate $30, but that if you have 100 members in your branch, that you have donated $3,000 to 9110, and that equals $30 for every member. My branch happens to be big on this, so we are already over $20,000, and yay. But it doesn't count for your local scholarships. It has to be in national. They also are asking that the number of people, so if 10 members donated last year and you get 11 members, discrete members, to donate this year, then you've met that aspect of the star. And like all of these, there's 6 items, you need to do 3 of them. So it's the $30 Greatest Needs Fund increased by 15%, retain 80% of membership, increase the individual donors compared to the previous year, make a branch contribution to defend higher education or public policy. So we always make donations in memory to National if one of our members passes. I know that's kind of sad, but it happens. And if you distribute them to these, you will meet your goal. Recruit at least 1 Legacy Circle member, and that you don't pay in your lifetime. And this thing is moving on its own little whatever. Okay. And yes, as was well said by Amy, 1 activity can meet 2 items. And the other aspect is this opens on April 1st, 2026. And the link, the checklist, and the questions are sent only to the branch presidents that are noted in the hub, not the BOR. So your state officers have no effect on who receives the information. It's who you have designated in the hub. And they don't send it to everybody. So the president needs to share. And we found that in reading the feedback from other branches, when it became a branch project, the branches became way more successful. And some of their tips were you designate a 5-star chair in your branch. You discuss it at the board and branch meetings. Every member can contribute to these stars. The 90 days that it's open, you have that 90 days to develop your response. Because they give you a checklist and a questionnaire, you can all meet, and I recommend have your newsletter person there. They know what happened in the branch during the year because they got it in your newsletter. And then the president or whoever is designated uses that president link to answer the survey. The survey is, you can't go back and correct it. When you go in, be prepared. So meet in advance, put your stats together, and then put the compiled information in the survey. And away you go. And I didn't want to go belabor all this. I figured some of you might have questions. And I want you to know that I'm here for you. I've been getting a lot of questions. Julika refers them to me when you go to Ask Us First. And we at the state are more than willing to do that for you. So you can ask me now, you can ask me later, and I'm happy to tell you whatever you'd like to know. Yes, Tina.
Well, I agree with you. The president of the branch drives this program, and we were not a 5-star last year. So I am determined we're going to be a 5-star this year. And the way we're going to do it is we have a Excel spreadsheet, and every single board meeting, we review our progress through the year. I think this has gotten everybody on the same page, and we have made a priority to become a 5-star member.
Sounds like you're going to do it.
I think we will. We have our, if you plan out the year, you are successful. So I think the hardest thing was getting everybody behind it. We did that in August. And I think reviewing our progress every month has made people committed to doing it. And if we make it, we'll have a celebration.
There you go.
Great.
Paula?
Paula has her hand up.
Yes, my question is about the advancement goal to increase the number of individual donors. Is that across all funds or only the Greatest Needs Fund?
All funds, all
All
national funds,
Yeah,
not like Tech Trek.
yeah, I understand. That
Yeah.
that helps clarify it for me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Donna, this is Becky. I have a little handout that I put together from the AEW website that I can share that has everything all in one document. AEW National had it up for a while last year and they took it down. So I ended up making my own. So I'm happy to share that if people would like to see it.
I think you should. It's great. And then Peggy will switch to you.
Okay, I wanted to say that I'm also with the Salem, Oregon branch, and this is our 5th year of being a 5-star branch. And I always wanted to reiterate what Donna said about the importance of assigning someone to kind of sort of monitor as the year goes by and do the little check boxes. And the person that does that also does our newsletter, so she is checking boxes every time she puts the newsletter together. But I just think that and then about 2 months before you begin writing the survey out, it's important for the board or everybody to get together and just discuss where are we at with this, because there's still time to do the things that need to be done to kind of clean up and finish your your projects for the year. But it really works. It really works. And just talking about it all the time. I think that's you know, oh, we're so proud we're a 5-star branch. You know, we got to be sure we're doing this for our 5-star. We get this program going. You know, everybody kind of just gets into it. So
And
Yeah.
it's great. We had our branch kept missing one of the stars, and then when we met around actually my dining table, it happened that the branch newsletter person was there. We didn't even do it on purpose, but we realized what a huge difference it made. Like you said, they know it.
Yeah.
And Becky's check sheet here makes it's nice and clean, easy to share with everybody.
Yeah, I would suggest this is one of the things that I've done in my branch is I put this on our board agenda every month. So we don't forget anything. So my newsletter chair can chime in on what she did. Public policy can chime in on what they did. We all know what's going on, but if you don't document it, you're going to forget. You're not going to remember what you did in November when you look at it in April. So that's what I'm doing to try to keep track of things. Because when I did it last year, I did the same thing. I started looking at it late in the spring and I was going crazy looking at newsletters, looking at our website, doing all kinds of things. And it's a lot tougher to do.
Absolutely. And it's because, well, before they had us submit the information after the branch year ended. And then they told us in the fall, well, we submitted it in the fall. Having it backed up to be actually worked on while we're in the activity year, I think has been a big help. And Tremaine Parquet is the person at National who is in charge of this program. And unlike California, the National people do not have volunteer committees like we do. He has 653 branches he's expected to monitor.
Donna, tell the group about the instruction set that comes out that talks about here's the checklist of things to gather together. And the sample questions they can print out without having to go into the survey so that they can get ready for when they do the survey.
Yes, and that checklist is only sent to the president. The president that's in the hub. So
I thought last year it was published on the site.
Well, it did turn out to be on the site, but we didn't know because the information about it was sent to the president.
Yeah.
And that's why I have sort of reiterated that a dozen times.
When we get closer to that time, we'll publish that in the B2B and also have it on this program so that people know where to go look for that checklist, because it's a lot easier to work with that ahead of time instead of waiting until you're actually online answering the questionnaire.
Absolutely. Patricia Sousa, you've been very patiently with your hand raised.
Well, thank you. I had a question about Legacy Circle. What does that mean?
Okay, so Legacy Circle is putting AAUW in your will or trust, or finding some other way to designate them. When my mother passed, she left me some money. I put some of it in a CD, and the beneficiary of the CD is AAUW Greatest Needs Fund. And then I just let it sit there. And my mom's been gone 15 years. The money has more than doubled. And it doesn't go to them until I die. So if God forbid, I had some catastrophic illness that took every dime that I have saved and etc., I could actually use the money. But assuming life goes on as planned, when I pass, that money will go to national. The Legacy Circle, the coordinator to sign up is somebody we all know, Charmin Goring. She
Carmen, do you want to
handles-
talk a minute about Legacy Circle?
I put the
Are you
link a
on?
couple times in the chat, and there's a lot of ways you can that you can sign up to leave a legacy. I have a 401k, a small 401k that I moved my beneficiaries to, like 50% my sons and 50% AEW. And so depending on how things go in the next, few years, if life goes as planned, as far as Donna says, there might be money going to AEW, or there might a little bit or a lot, depending on how things go in the market. But you can do there's just a number of ways. The link that I put in the chat has the more ideas on there, plus the links for who to call or talk to in the staff. It's really simple. They don't even ask really how much you're planning to leave, because like Dawn and I, we don't know what it's going to be. It's basically just a signature saying that you're committed to doing that, and that you have talked to your lawyer, you've put it in your estate planning, whatever. And it's just great. It's a really small group of women. We would love to expand it and have it be, a really large group of women. There's about 700 and something members nationwide. In California, we have about 150 plus. And actually Donna's branch, she's in my branch, Sacramento. We have the largest number. I think we have 12 in our branch. Wonder how that happened, but it's really easy. It's just a really nice way to, especially if you've been a member for 30, 40, 50 years, it's a way to help ensure that this organization and our mission is covered and is here and around for our daughters, granddaughters, great-granddaughters in the future. And so I really encourage you, it doesn't cost you anything right now. Like Donna said, it's not until you pass away. And I know that a lot of our members, I think, in our older generations, there's something that the younger generations don't have the same viewpoint on it, which is leaving money to your children. My sisters and I have already told my parents, we don't expect it. We want them to use the money and spend it and enjoy it while they're alive. But a lot of our members I've talked to who are older think they can't leave to AEW because they have to leave to their children. So that view is changing, I think, a little bit to the younger generation. So I would encourage you to consider that too. And I feel like I'm leaving a legacy for my children as well. They've grown up with me in AEW and hearing about me go to meetings and being on boards and, going to marches and all of this advocacy I've been doing for the last 33 years. And so it's also showing them how to support things that are important to them as well. And so I feel like, I'm doing them a favor as well and teaching them. So, but I think you all have my email. I think it's, either my personal or state president at AEW California. And I encourage you to check it out.
Is there a dollar amount that's required?
There is
No.
not. There is not. And
No.
the nice thing is you're part of a group. We have, there's liaisons across the country. There's 2 in California, since we have so many Legacy Circle members here, myself and Judy Horan in the South. And we send cards and notes out to you throughout the year, like on your birthday and your times. And then national is, we've started putting on at least once or twice a year special webinars or events for Legacy Circle members. And so you'll get invitations to that as well. And sometimes they come up with like cute little like swag kinds of things that we send out. And there's also a pin that everybody has who's a member. So you'll get that
I should
awarded.
have had my pin on. Do you have your pin?
I don't, because it's gold and I only wear silver jewelry. So some way I want them to move it to a silver option too. But I don't have it on. But it's just a really nice pin. It used to have a pearl hanging from it. The pearl is gone because it kept falling off. So it has like Swarovski crystals on it. It's just kind of a nice little, it's just a really nice way to show your support for AEW. So.
And the other, speaking of ways that you do things like this, some of us are of a certain age, and I have donated for years and years, and my financial advisors donate it from your RMD, for goodness sakes.
Yeah,
And then you don't have to pay taxes on it. And so you meet multiple criteria. You lower your tax base and AAUW benefits. And I donate to National, and I donate a scholarship in my family's name at the branch level. So I do both because I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. But I do it out of my RMD to take care of taxes, since we don't get to write it off of our taxes the old-fashioned way.
The link
thank you, Donna.
the link I just put in the chat is the brochure. It has a picture of the pin if you're inclined to look at that. If that sways you one way or the other to get a piece of jewelry.
We like to say, be a president of the branch and get that past president's pin. It's all about the jewelry.
Right. Are there any other questions for Donna or Amy or anyone else?
Carmen?
Yes, I have a question for you, Donna. So one of my board members found an award certificate dated 1996 for Fremont, which means that back then we were a 5-star program. So the question that she raised at the board meeting is, why the renewed emphasis on this program? First of all, when I introduced it 2 years ago, everyone's like, "Oh, this is a new initiative from National, right?" I'm like, "I think so. I'm not sure." But then the board member found the 1996 certificate, awarding us that 5 star. So yeah, why is Tremaine really making a strong push for that program now? It's been, yeah, it's been running for a while. Why now?
It went away, and then it was reintroduced in 2019. And then we had this thing, I think it was called the pandemic. And they retooled, and nothing much happened. So I don't know if it came out in 18 or 19, but it was right in there. And I know because I was branch president and I was gung-ho for it. And then it seemed to poof. And then they brought it back. And they brought it back because we really don't need to do garden tours or fashion shows. We need to work on the mission. And by tying it to the strategic plan and our missions and goals for women and girls, it's to get us all like moving in the same direction and moving in the direction that supports our mission of AAUW. Peggy, do you want to say something?
Oh, me
Yeah,
just, I'm not even, oh, that Peggy, oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's also, in addition to that, to solidify everyone, they did discover that branches that participated in the 5-star program had more engagement and had more membership retention. And it was just that I think, like we talk about in Volunteers First, is that you're solidifying and you're focusing people around something to do for the reason that you joined. And I do think there was an element of branches had more retention if they use this. So I think I push it. I think it's great. It's really a good program.
And so many people right now feel like, what can I do? I see us losing rights that, I mean, if you're a special ed teacher, it's been horrible. If there's so many areas that we've seen slashed, and it's good for membership, but not for positive reasons, but we'll take that as the silver lining. That people are going, wait a second, we can't lose those rights that we've taken so long to get. Does that answer your question, Fee?
Yes, and I'll definitely share at my next board meeting. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Amy.
Oh, Amy.
Yes, I apologize. I misspoke earlier. I thought that we had lobby days established for 2026. I was wrong. There will be more information coming out in November, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Better to know. Okay, Charmin.
I just want to clarify that it's not that branches can't have garden tours and things
Yes,
of that
they
nature. But we have some branches here in California, but also across the country where all they do is social stuff and they don't do anything that's mission-based whatsoever. I mean, we have a branch here in our own state where the president-elect didn't even know what the AEW fund was. And that's been like the backbone of AEW since 1881. So there are branches that are only doing local community, interest groups, garden tours, that type of thing. And that's really not why our branches were formed, why we were developed, why we joined these. We're part of a larger organization, a national organization, and we should be supporting that national organization as well as our own communities. And so I think that's really the 5-star program helps us focus on that. And focus on our strategic plan and helping to really, national can't do it themselves. They can do things in Washington DC, but we're here locally in our own communities and we can push our mission and our values here in our own communities because we know this area, our area is best. And then again, speaking to the branches, I don't know if Bev Van Sitter is still on, but she has been quoted as saying that it's really helped revive Glendale. Glendale was, almost gone, and they really focused on this 5-star branch a couple of years ago, and I think they added like 30 or something members, and so now they're moving forward as a branch, and so it's a way to really, not that you can't have the fun garden tours and like, those kind of flower arranging meetings and stuff, but maybe do the garden tour as a fundraiser for, greatest needs or something like that to kind of, give it a mission-based focus in some way. So I think that's really why we do it. And we had almost all of our branches, like 78% of our branches who did at least the survey and at least 1 star, which is phenomenal. So we're hoping to get 100% this year. It's really easy to fill out that form, and most branches I think are surprised when they find out that they actually have earned stars. They actually have done things on that list and they didn't even know it. So it's just a way to kind of keep people focused.
Yes.
Exactly.
And to the person who asked about the lobby day when they signed up, but then it didn't happen, that's one where they ask if you participated. If you signed up, you did the training, and then your meet didn't happen, I'd check yes, because you did everything you could do. And it isn't your fault
Right.
if the babysitter didn't show up.
Thank you.
Good point. Very good point. Any other questions for any of our speakers tonight? Okay. Well, thank you to Donna and Amy and Peggy and all the other people who've contributed to this. Information about branch development activities in our committee is every month in the Board to Board in the B2B newsletter. So be sure to read that and pass along segments of that to people in your branch that you think might not be receiving the B2B, because there's a lot of information about a lot of things, all the committees at the state level. So when you sign off tonight, you'll be directed to a quick survey, and I hope you'll complete that. And it helps us understand your needs and evaluate our presentation. And we hope to see you soon, especially in November. We will hear more about the Bay Awards and also about Volunteers First. We encourage you to tell your branch leaders about our program and our upcoming month's topics and speakers. And we want to remind everyone that this is recorded, and although it's not for posting on social media, please, all branch development peer group meetings can be found on our webpage, and more information about the Branch Development Committee is also on our webpage. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. And are there any other comments anybody else needs to add in here?
Sigrid, this is Becky. I would just
Sure.
add, to anybody that was attending and, maybe sometimes after you mull over the presentation, you might have other questions. Please reach out to us. I put the branch development, email in the chat. And
Yeah, good idea.
I also put in the 5-star handout that I was showing. I made a couple revisions as I was looking at it. So
Yeah.
I put that in the chat as well, so you can grab it. And then we'll also add it to the recording as well as an attachment. And I think that other slides and things that we had, because Amy's presentation had a lot of links in it. So that would be really helpful as well as you're going back and, please share this information with your branches. And I just want to echo what Sharman was saying, that the 5-star program does kind of reorient us into our mission. So please take that as kind of some guardrails on what we're doing as an organization, as opposed to let's do this because we have to. Thank you all for attending. And Sigrid, anything else?
Nope, just sign up for next month and we'd love to see you back. Thanks very much for attending tonight.
And please complete the survey as you log out.